Buongiorno and welcome to another episode of the Godfather Minute. My name is Alex Robinson.
And my name is Andy Robinson.
It's a good sustain you got on that. You can go on a bike and come back and it's still going.
Oh, I left 10 minutes ago. That was residual.
Whoa, that's crazy.
That's how badass that sustain is.
And together we are the Godfather Minute Brothers. We're talking about minute 126 today.
Alex, e minuto?
E minuto. Numero.
Cento? You want to take a guess? We've been around...
26?
Oh, almost. 26.
Say?
Yeah.
How's it spelled?
It's, I think, S-E-I. Say. Yeah. 126.
126.
Say. No S at the end.
No S. Well, I was saying 126s, I was saying.
Got it. There is an S at the end if you were in Mexico City.
Well, speaking of which, before we get into the minute proper, I just out of curiosity, I looked and 1 year from today, we will be done.
1 year from today?
What, 51 weeks left.
Oh my gosh, that seems so long from now. I was when you before it sank in, I was thinking, oh my gosh, we only have a few minutes left. I thought you were breaking news that we were almost
done. It is. I mean, 56.
I guess,
we've already done that twice over already. So we're 2/3 through at least. So,
okay. Okay, cool.
But just think, a year from now we'll be done. Look at that way. Like it'll be around this time of year. Who knows where we'll be?
We should have a party or something.
We totally should. We should have. Maybe it should be like we should have like a wedding that day in honor of completing a year's worth of.
We can recreate we'll recreate maybe we'll have a big party, and the party will happen in many phases that represent all the stages of our musical that we talk about in the bonus content.
Perfect. All right. So if you want to come to our big completion party, let us know. You can either shoot us an email, godfatherminute@gmail.com, or go over to Fredo Corleone's Mickey Mouse Nightclub on Facebook and share any ideas you have for our big anniversary bash.
Fun.
And I guess that's it.
Well, one more thing about the party.
Yes.
Just as a warning, this is not a warning, but a disclaimer, or not a disclaimer, but a statement.
A warning.
It's kind of a warning.
Notification.
We are not using this as a ruse to knock off any competition we have. We're not inviting
podcasters from all over the world. We're going to come to our rooftop penthouse suite there. Where we drink champagne cocktails.
So if you too are doing a mafia themed podcast, please come to our celebration party. If you're doing Goodfellas, you might be doing The Sopranos, right?
Yeah, Goodfellas is already complete, and Sopranos is a TV show.
Yeah.
So I guess there is that other Godfather minute. We don't know what happened to them if they're still
not sure,
mafia,
but they're invited too.
Yeah.
And we, Alex, you don't have to talk to
oh my God,
the heads of the family. That was my joke, man. That was my joke.
Was it really going to be a joke?
It was, yeah. I was going to say, you don't have to talk to the crime bosses because I already talked to Barzini.
Oh, sorry. I was just
That's all right.
stampeding in there.
It's okay. You're always one step ahead of me. You're always stepping me over.
I always think I'm the Tessio of the podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. How come?
Because I'm the smart one.
So wait, Tessio of the podcast or in life?
No, just in the podcast.
Oh, how come?
Because I'm the smart one.
I just wanted to hear you say it twice. Alex?
Well, we're talking about minute 126 today, as everyone knows, because we have 51 minutes left in the show.
How many minutes left?
51 minutes.
Wow.
We're minute 126, one of our last Sicily minutes. Mikey is so stunned by Don Tomasino's revelation that they shot Sonny on the causeway and that he's dead, that he cannot continue. He can barely continue the driving lesson for Apollonia. And then Later on, we see him telling Fabrizio to get the car because they're going to leave the compound and go to Siracusa. And Apollonia is going to go live with her father.
Not go live with.
We'll stay with her
just
father
go visit
until
them.
I thought until they were sure things were safe or whatever.
Yeah, that's what Mikey says.
Yeah, and that's it. And then it ends with Fabrizio telling me he'll get the car ready. Oh no! Then Mikey goes and talks to Kahlo and says, "Hey, where's Fabrizio? Or where's the car?" And all that stuff. And so he says she'll make a good American wife. And that's the end of it.
Yeah. Do you? It seems in this minute rather than in last minute, the news of Santino's death starts to set in to Mikey. He seems stunned.
Yeah, he seemed like he was shocked and stunned. There was that cliffhanger of how did it end? Was he gonna laugh? Was he gonna cry? And he just kind of maintains his stunned expression the whole time.
I just can't tell if he's more stunned
or stunning
due to Sonny's death or due to how poorly Apollonia is driving. She's driving in circles, honking a horn. She's sitting on the wrong side of the front seat too. Did you notice that?
Well, it's one of those driver's ed cars where there's a steering wheel. There's two sets on both sides. So it's Italian cars. Do you think did he tell Apollonia what happened? And did they go back to the driver's lesson?
Well, according to the book, Michael did not tell Apollonia.
Because she was going to be dead soon in a couple of minutes anyway.
He probably figured. He said, with my luck, I'm not even going to have time to tell her. Look, she's driving on the wrong side of the road. She's going to have a bad smack up anyway.
It's not personal.
It's not personal. It's driver's ed.
I don't think he told her about Sonny.
No, I don't think so either.
Because she would know enough not to ask also.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. Was there anything else?
She didn't ask. She didn't ask.
Mikey, when are we going to put a statue? Is there anything else from the book?
Apollonia as Hyman Roth. I'd give $1 million just to be able to drive outside this compound. Safe driving, the most important. That was a little too Hyman Rothy.
Yeah, that was like later on.
Yeah.
She's much more, adept at.
I'm driving. I'm Mikey. I'm driving to Syracuse to vote in the absentee ballot. That's why I'm registered.
We're bigger than Porsche. Is Porsche an Italian company? We're bigger than Ferrari.
I think so, yeah.
So does the book have anything else that's different?
Oh, the book? Yeah. Oh, yeah. The book's got a bunch of things. Before we talk about that, though, let's, I take it back. Let's jump right into the book, Alex.
All right. What did Puzo write?
A couple odds and ends. So Fabrizio, in the beginning of this minute, the beginning exchange, Fabrizio calls up to Michael, who's on the terrace, and says, "Is your wife coming with you? Your wife." My
wife.
Michael squinted down at him. It occurred to him that Fabrizio had been following Apollonia too much with his eyes the last few weeks. Not that he would dare ever to make an advance toward the wife of a friend of the Don's. In Sicily, there was no surer road to death. Michael said coldly, "No, she's going home to her family first. She'll join us in a few days." So just pointing that out, because you don't think you see that in the movie.
Yeah,
you don't see Fabrizio's lusting eyes.
I like also that Mikey has been there now. He's starting to he's getting a little too Sicilian now because he's like starting to get jealous of his wife and everything. So maybe it's good that they're going to leave because you don't want to get too, he doesn't want to go back there and be a mustache Pete in America.
Yeah.
He wants to be an American Don, not a,
That'd be great. He shows up in America and he's dressing like the Don. He's even got the same voice. Fredo, that's how Pop wanted it. Mikey,
your voice.
You not only stepped me over, but you sound like Pop.
You don't come back from Sicily talking like that.
That's great. Mikey tells Fredo, talking like this. That's what Pop wanted. That's how Pop wanted it.
Fredo thinks he's the one who should be talking that way. I can do acts. I can do voices. Not like everyone says.
Yeah, Pop, they're sending me to Vegas to learn how to talk like you. They're giving me talking lessons, casino lessons.
Just to show I'm not wholehearted.
Let's see. Puzo also writes, okay, so Apollonia is in the kitchen at this point.
As she should be.
Preparing Mikey's breakfast. Puzo writes, she was most likely in the kitchen preparing his breakfast with her own hands to wash out the guilt she felt because she wanted to see her family one more time before going so far away to the other end of Sicily.
Aww.
That interesting?
Yeah.
You don't see any of that in the movie.
Yeah. We don't.
So it sounds like they were going to go to, in the book at least, they plan to go together to Syracuse or wherever they're going. But she requested that she see her family one more time before moving that far away.
Yeah.
Which in the movie, it's kind of flipped. Michael is saying, oh, she's going to stay with her parents till we realize it, till we know it's safe.
Right. Yeah.
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 Not too different, but
A little bit more color characterization.
Yeah. For Apollonia. We don't really see her much in the movie, so. What's up? You have a puzzled look on your face. Talk to me.
So no, I was looking at my notes and I was getting podcaster jitters that I made a mistake adding something up, but I don't think I did. So that's it.
What can you tell us more about podcast jitters? What is that?
Well, certain things that when you're a podcaster, certain not phobias, but every occupation has its business things that only people in the people in the business know, like accidentally not recording something or some kind of technical glitch, something like that, podcaster nightmares.
It's like an oh crap moment.
Yeah,
unique to that industry.
Yes, exactly.
Podcast jitters.
Well, especially if you're in the middle of the show and suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, I realized that that this went wrong. But
are you over them? You're okay?
I think I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your hand is very steady holding that lighter.
I know. It makes me think I might be good at this, actually.
So a couple more things from the book, Alex. Okay, so you don't see this in the movie. Michael goes and says goodbye to Filomena. Do you remember who that was?
Was it like the cook?
That was the woman who had told that terrible story about Luca Brasi.
Oh, but where she threw throw the baby in the fire because Luca Brasi made her
throw his baby into the fire.
Right.
And you had called her, or no, Puzo wrote that she was an old crone.
Okay. Yeah.
Wipe out.
Woody Allen.
Wouldn't it be like
Furnace?
Wait, what was that?
Furnace.
Why do you say furnace?
Because she threw the baby in the furnace.
Oh, but I thought that was her. Oh, because instead of wipe out, I thought you were saying that was her. Because I was quoting her, I should say her name.
Philomena. Oh yeah.
That's why when you said furnace, I was like, what?
No, that was kind of her tag. Because in the song "Wipe Out," that's that annoying character. That's why he's laughing.
Yeah, because
so why would Wilhelmina be laughing?
Oh,
or Philomena.
Well, she wouldn't be laughing. That's almost like Luca Brasi would be laughing. She wouldn't be laughing unless she totally broke from reality or whatever.
Or give us a Luca Brasi.
Furnace. Woody Allen.
Oh my god, that is so sick. He makes someone kill his baby by throwing in a furnace. Then he laughs.
I know
and then he accentuates it by pointing out what is comical about it.
It's almost like a Beavis and Butthead. They're furnace. You're laughing at that one word. It's funny unto itself. Yeah, it's crazy.
How about this one? Pre-Scott.
Not bad.
So Mikey says goodbye to her, and he says, quote, "I'll remember you to my father." Mm-hmm. A little odd way of saying it. I'll remember you to my father.
My father.
My father.
I think that's an old-fashioned way people used to say it, say hello to I'll tell my father you said hello. It's like that kind of a thing.
But, okay.
But you'd say, remember me to that person.
Really? I've never seen that before. Have you seen that in movies or other books?
I feel like I have.
I'll remember you to my father.
Yeah, it does sound odd. It's
Yeah.
definitely not a phrase people use,
Does it make sense? I'll remember you.
I guess it's kind of
To
saying,
my
I will
father.
remind my father. I will bring up my father to you, and that will remind him of you. And he will be pleasant. He will be pleased about that.
See, that's clearer to me when you had that.
Yeah. Maybe I wonder if it's a more of a, like if you translate it, is it more of like a Sicilian thing? Maybe more where
maybe.
it's like, it doesn't mean literally the same thing, but because they're, I don't know.
You know, we'll ask our Sicilian consultant, Antonino Consiglio, and we'll ask our Latin scholar consultant, Peter Carucci.
Okay.
We'll see what we can get from them.
And you know what? Well, I'm going to throw in another one. I'll ask and I'll answer during the phrase, I'll remember you too. See if we can.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if we can find any information.
Okay, sounds good.
Remember.
Let's see. What else we got? So there's an interaction with between Michael and Carlo in the book that's a little bit different than the movie. So Michael asks Carlo, where's this is Michael, where's Apollo? And I'd never Apollo. Apollo. Yeah, sorry, Apollo. Which I don't think he refers to anyone refers to her in the movie as that.
No.
And I didn't know the name, so it's clearly an abbreviation, Apollonia.
Yeah.
But Apollo.
Apola.
Apollo.
I like it.
Yeah. Puzo writes, Carlo's face broke into an amused grin. She's sitting in the driver's seat of the car, dying to step on the gas.
Oh. If you know what I mean.
And he's not the one that set
I
the
know.
bomb. It'd be great if Fabrizio said that. It's so brazen.
I think you will find her quite explosive. What are you talking about?
The car's in good shape, but you never know when it will blow a gasket. Gasket.
You better hold on to your hat when you're going outside because the wind will really blow it up.
Well, what do you mean? What are you trying to say?
The car. There's a bomb in it.
So that's great. Puzo writes, dying to step on the gas. Carlo continues, she'll be a real American woman before she gets to America. And then Puzo goes on to explain why Carlo says that. Alex, what do you think? You want to take a guess?
Is it because Italian women don't drive cars?
That's right. It was unheard of for one of the peasant women in Sicily to attempt driving a car.
Oh.
It was a good answer. I'm gonna remember you to that.
Wait, you're going to remember me to that factoid? Or you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That.
Thanks.
But Michael sometimes let Apollonia guide the Alfa Romeo around the inside of the villa walls, always beside her, however, because she sometimes stepped on the gas when she meant to step on the brake.
She accidentally she meant to step on the gas, but she stepped on the ignition bomb exploding. The ignition pedal.
She meant to step on the gas, but she stepped on the bomb trigger.
Right, exactly.
The reason I highlighted that is, do you think that had something to do with the bomb? Obviously, the bomb hasn't exploded yet, so we're just speculating. But is it just turning on the car that blew it up, or was it stepping on the gas and she stepped on the wrong pedal? Yeah, it had probably the ignition, right?
We'll find out next week.
I guess we'll find
see
out.
what the order of operations, because I could see by them, maybe Puzo's pointing that out because every other time she has driven, Michael has been in the car.
Yeah.
So it's like of saying that she's never in the car without him. So that's like they knew Michael was going to get in the car.
Oh, yeah.
At some point. So
see, if Fabrizio was smart, if he was smart like Tessio, he would have been feeding Apollonia false driving instructions like, oh no, press on that pedal to confuse her so that Mikey would continue always accompanying her.
yeah, that's a
always got to be a move ahead.
Yeah. I remember being
he's the Barzini of the bodyguards.
Woo! I remember being disappointed that Fabrizio was the bodyguard who betrayed him.
Oh, yeah.
Because I guess earlier on, like, Carlo barely speaks in the movie. So I think earlier on, Fabrizio was the more talky one. So I thought he was kind of like the friendlier one. So it's kind of it's extra disappointing that he's the one who
That's true.
who does it. He calls him boss.
I think I felt that too, just seeing the movie over the years. But it also makes sense, him being more social.
Right.
He might be just more apt to make connections with people and be more outgoing
That's
and
true.
looking to move
Yeah.
ahead in the world, where Kahlo seems content to just kind of be ambling about.
Yeah. Fabrizio wants to open a pizza parlor in Buffalo, New York. And he goes, someday. I open a store in the Buffalo.
So let's see. Anything else from the book? That might be it until next week. Yeah, that's it till next week, Alex.
All right, I got a couple of things to bring up.
All right.
Don Tomasino reminds me of Vic Tayback. Do you remember Vic Tayback? He played Mel in Mel's Diner.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially in this scene where he's like turning and he looks concerned. He reminds me of Vic Tayback
Yeah.
from Alice.
Yeah. Michael, kiss my Turks.
The shot where Michael stands in the doorway and he's talking to Kahlo, who's like in the shadows there with the light. I thought a beautiful shot, especially when that Mikey's out in the sunlight and is so bright, and then Kahlo is sitting in the dark with that just I guess like a bare bulb or something.
Yeah.
He's all in shadow. So great cinematography on that one.
Great shot. Yeah, I really appreciated that one too. And I guess looking back, it may be foreshadowing, because you've got this dark room and it's representing the darkness of the bodyguards, even though Kahlo isn't the one who ultimately does it. I recall years ago, before I really had a grasp on the full story, thinking that Kahlo may have been the one to set the bomb, which makes no sense because in the next scene you see Fabrizio running away.
Yeah.
But it's very ominous when Michael is poking his head and he's still outside and Kahlo's in that dark room.
Yeah.
You can't totally tell what he's doing. I mean, it's clear he's eating after a little while, but it's just very dark.
Right, and he also, I think it's, look at it, he's like the spirit of Sicily, because he's there eating, he's this peasant thing, he has a wine bottle there, and then there's Mikey in his suit, so it's such a strong contrast, and he's even saying, oh, she's going to be a good American wife someday, so it's like very like, emphasizing the difference between the Italian and the,
I like how he holds up
Italian American.
I like how he holds up his hands and mimics using a steering wheel when he talks about Apollonia driving. She'd make good American wife.
Yeah.
Oh, I also think it's really interesting. I don't speak Sicilian and I don't speak Italian, but I pick up on some words. Car being macchina, which
Isn't there a word before it? Something machina, like driving.
Michael
machine?
says like prepare la macchina, prepare the machine, the car, prepare the car. I think, but I think that means machine if it is a cognate. Or a false cognate, I guess, because it's not really machine.
Well, it is. Yeah, it is a machine.
It's a machine. Yeah.
And
It's just interesting because I know in Spanish you don't say máquina. That literally means a machine, not a car.
Yeah, that's why I didn't know if earlier when let me look at the script. I thought someone said something, and they called it some other kind of machine, like get the driving machine, like like the name is like a driving.
I don't think
machine.
so. I think he just says prepare la máquina, prepare the machine, prepare the car.
Mm-hmm. It has it all in English, doesn't have the Italian words. So I don't know. So Mikey says, "Oh, go get the car," and then also, but I thought Kahlo also says, "Oh, she wants to get the car for you," something like that. So anyway,
You have anything else?
yes, I have a couple of other items. When he was giving her the driving lesson, and she was like, "Come on, you promised." I was like, "Boy, she seems like a kid." And I was like, "Well, maybe that's because the peasant women there are kept kind of like in a childlike state until they get married." And I looked, and according to the Godfather Wikipedia page, Apollonia is only 17 years old.
Oh, okay.
Mikey is 28 years old. So she is technically the rule is half your age plus 7.
Okay.
Is
that Sicilian?
No, that's America.
That's not global. Yeah, that's American.
Yeah,
It's very American.
Yeah, but it made me curious to know what the age of consent was in various nations around the world.
Interesting.
So before I get into that, I also learned about something called the close age exemption.
Whoa.
Also known as the Romeo and Juliet law.
Whoa.
Which
is
is
this
that,
in Italy?
This is a lot of places have this.
Okay.
Where that if someone is underage, but there's almost like if the other person is also underage or is within a certain number of years, like it's a 4-year thing, so that like, or 2 or 3 year things. So
Yeah.
that like a 20-year-old could date a 17-year-old without,
Yeah.
because of the Romeo and Juliet
Yeah.
law. So they're saying like Georgia or some places don't have the Romeo and Juliet law, which means that technically if 2 underage teenagers did it, they could both be charged with statutory rape.
So does this only apply to a situation where both participants are underage?
No, it can't be. One can be older.
Oh, because I've heard stories and like, people I know who know these people. These aren't just myths. People who have gotten into legal trouble just being a year or 2 apart, but one's older than. I'm sorry, one is adult. One's like 18 and one is 16 or 19 and 17.
It varies from every state has their own rules. So maybe they were in a state that doesn't have the Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, and let me be clear, Hunks. This is a friend of mine. It's not. It's not me.
Well, if your friend lives in South Korea, they have to wait until they're 19. A bunch of countries said you have to be married. There's no age of consent. It's you can't do it unless you're married.
Until you're married.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but the Italy. Currently, this is so. I don't know if let's assume, just for the sake of argument, that a bunch of European countries are age 14, including Italy. So Mikey is safe from that. In that area. Bahrain is the oldest with age 21.
Oh wow!
You have to be 21 to do it. Oregon is 18. Oh, so that might be a difference. Also, states might have their own things that might. The U.S. generally, I guess, on a federal level, the age of consent is 16. And same thing with the United Kingdom. Vatican City, 18 years old.
18,
The
okay.
Mobiliari people will be happy about that.
That's tired of waiting, Alex.
And now we get into the kind of scary parts where, like, in Japan, it's 13. In the Philippines and Angola, it is 12. And in Nigeria, the age of consent is 11.
Wow.
So
That goes to 11.
some pretty...
Why don't they just make it 10 and make that the age of consent and instead just make that older or more mature?
Because that would be gross.
Okay. That was by the way, that was a Spinal Tap reference. I was not making any, it was completely a joke. I was not making any social criticism about age of consent. Disclaimer.
Warning. So here's a little bit of a lighter topic.
Yeah, let's move on. It's
stumbled-
making me uncomfortable.
I stumbled.
You can't look at me in the eyes when you're talking about this kind
Hey,
of
it's,
stuff.
it's aggressive eye contact, right?
That's
Radical
right,
eye
I
contact.
forgot. Yeah, radical eye contact. The age of consent is 18.
I found this information is not specific to this minute, but I thought it could be a fun little thing. There's not a heck of a lot to talk about in this minute, but
Cool.
we did the greatest actors, the American Film Institute's greatest actors,
Greatest stars of the silver screen.
stars of the silver screen. Now there's a different list. AFI's greatest screen villains.
Whoa, awesome.
I wrote down the top 18.
Okay.
Do you want to get Michael Corleone? Michael Corleone did make the list.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to guess where Michael Corleone?
When was this list published and who voted?
It was
film critics.
Yeah, I guess so.
Do you know when
We'll
it
say it was
was-
done 5 years ago.
Okay, so it's somewhat modern.
Yeah, there's no one here that you will not, that it's too new that you wouldn't know.
And it's all, I'm guessing it's all fictional stuff, like not like Hitler, big characters, right?
I think there is one that is a real person.
Oh, Greatest film villains.
Well, do you want to just take a guess at some of the villains?
Top 18. I think Michael's going to be in the top 10.
No.
No, yeah, that's kind of dumb because he gives it to people who deserve it. Almost. It's all within crime family.
Right.
He doesn't kill civilians.
Yeah.
Even his brother, I know,
Did wrong him?
He's a gangster.
Yeah. You can never lose your family.
Yeah, well, tell that to Fredo. Tell that to the fishes. Let's see.
Tell that to Anthony.
Greatest film villains. Oh boy, I'm gonna know a lot of them, but I just can't think of them.
Number 18. Jaws.
Jaws, great. Oh, what about Doctor from Indiana Jones? The guy who the German guy who grabs the
Tote.
grabs Tote, Dr. Tote.
Tote was he a doctor?
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader is number 3.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
Not Dr. Toad. I don't know why I said that one. Jaws.
I don't know if he's a doctor.
He's not a doctor?
I don't know if he's a doctor.
Huh. I think we called him Dr. Toad.
Maybe.
I guess the way to think about this is what are the most famous movies and then who are the villains of those movies.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh. The computers in The Matrix.
Oh, you were close. No.
Give me a couple more.
Number 13 is Hal from 2001. That's what I thought you were gonna. That's where I thought you were going with it.
Yeah.
Here are some people that you might not think of who will be on it. Number 5 is Nurse Ratched from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Number 11 is Michael Corleone.
Okay.
Now on either side of him, number 10 is the witch from Snow White, and number 11 is Alex from Clockwork Orange.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Weirdly, there are 2 evil Alexes in the top 18. The top 18 villains.
It's sort of a villainous name, Alex.
I guess so.
Yeah.
That makes me like it more.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good. What's the other Alex?
Alex from Clockwork Orange, and this was one I was surprised at. Number 7 is Glenn Close's character from Fatal Attraction, whose first name is Alex. I would not put that in the top.
No.
I feel like Fatal Attraction, has anyone even mentioned it for the past 20
I thought it was a
years?
great movie, but it's more mental illness. It's not coming from a place of evil.
She kills a rabbit.
Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil is number 1.
No,
he's not.
Oh, really? He's not even in
there's
there?
There's no real
What?
comedic. There's no comedic villains in the. All right, I'll just go down the list then. Unless you want to keep guessing.
Nah, keep going.
Number 18 is Jaws. Number 17 is what's her name from Misery?
Oh yeah.
Annie Oakley. None of the Jimmy Caan.
Yeah.
Jimmy Caan
Yeah.
appearance. Number 16, forget it. It's Chinatown. John Huston.
Yeah.
John Huston from Chinatown. This is the real person from Schindler's List. The guy who
I was gonna say the
Ray
villain
Fiennes
Schindler.
was,
I didn't know his name. Yeah,
But that's a good point, though. They shouldn't have real people in it.
I mean, because then you start bringing documentaries into it.
Yeah, and like you said, Hitler
Himmler.
was in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Are you saying that?
Inglourious Bastards. He was in
Inglourious
that.
Bastards. So.
And then where does it end? You got Hitler, you got Himmler, you got Goebbels, you got the whole Reich.
that whole gang, the whole crazy crew. Number 14 is Alien. Number 13, Hal. Number 12, Alex from Clockwork Orange. Number 11, Mikey Corleone. Number 10, Snow White. Number 9, Exorcist.
The character being...
The Exorcist.
No, come on.
No, the girl in The Exorcist.
I take umbrage with a few of these so far. So first, let's go back. Hal. It's software.
I don't think they're necessarily. I don't think it's necessarily the most evil. I think it's just kind of saying who are the most interesting ones to watch and stuff.
But isn't it called villains?
Yeah, villains, but not because they're evil or because there's no excuse for what they do, but just that because they are evil.
I guess, yeah, but still, even Hal. Look at it from. I'm not kidding. Look at it from Hal's perspective. They were trying to shut him down. He's defending himself.
Oh yeah, he has a reason to do it.
And then The Exorcist. You can't blame. What was her name? The character's name?
Reagan. Well, it technically said Reagan when possessed by Pozul, the demon. The demons.
It did. Oh, I'm glad
it did actually.
I'm glad they made that distinction because we don't want to blame Reagan.
Yeah. Well, I think
there was another one up there too that you went through. That Alien. Really? Just an organism trying to survive.
But I know, but
this list represents everything bad about humanity.
Whoa, everything bad about humanity?
We're labeling all. You know what? Mother Nature. Why isn't that on the list?
I guess
climate, right? As a
well, who died from climate? Who died from climate?
Every day we got people dying from climate.
No, but I mean in movies.
That's a great question. We should think about that, kind of as a joke. But who died from climate in
I guess
movies?
there's all those disaster movie. Like you could say,
oh yeah, volcano,
or earthquakes.
Yeah,
does that count as climate?
Possibly, yeah. I'm sure they're exacerbated by climate change. Anyway, keep going down the list.
This is the first one I had not seen. Phyllis Dietrichson from Double Indemnity. I've never seen Double Indemnity.
I've never even heard of it.
You probably have heard of it.
Yeah.
I think it's a Hitchcock movie.
Oh.
2 guys meet on a train and they come up with a plan to kill the other one's problem so that neither of them will be suspected. So
Terminator.
Terminator did make the list.
Yes.
It's higher up than 18 though.
Oh, okay.
So
All
yeah.
right.
And I don't know if that means. So why do you say that guy's evil? Isn't he just a robot sent back from the future to kill people?
Well, because
not his fault.
It's one thing to defend yourself. He and his software maker, they are.
You really don't like software. You don't blame any of the hardware guys.
By the way, I think number one is software.
I'll agree with you on that one. Computers.
And number two is USB drives. I think there's a difference when you deliberately go back in time to kill. Well, maybe you got a
Well, he was
point.
sent back in time. He wasn't. He didn't choose to go.
Well, even if he chose to go back in time, he's choosing to go back to prevent humans from developing because they were trying to stop their growth.
That is the equivalent of a robot going back. That's the equivalent of going back to kill Hitler.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I'm going to go
right.
stop this guy before it gets out of hand. So so you can't really blame that the Terminator.
Okay. I take it back.
Well, anyway, I didn't know if it was going to be the Terminator, the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, or the Terminator 2 Terminator.
Yeah.
Or anyway, Fatal Attraction number 6. You don't know this guy. It's a character, Mr. Potter from It's a Wonderful Life.
Never saw it.
It's great because he's basically just a rich jerk who looks just like Dick Cheney.
What about Scrooge?
Scrooge did not make the list.
I guess because he has the revelation at the end, he becomes good.
Yeah, and
He's got a conversion.
I guess also because there's so many different versions of. I don't know. Do you? Is there one like version of Scrooge that you're like, oh, that's the best one, or is
You
it?
would think they'd pick more movies that were classic old school tales because they're classic villains that typically don't have a transformation at the end and become good. They're just the epitome of evil.
Yeah.
Right? Like the witch from a gingerbread house.
Number 4, the Wicked Witch of the West is number 4.
From Oz.
Yeah.
Oh,
the Wizard of
excellent.
Oz. Number 3, Darth Vader, who also becomes good at the end.
Yeah, that's true.
Number 2, the original Psycho himself, Norman Bates.
Well, he was abused by his mother.
All these excuses.
Yeah.
Wow, I was abused by my mother. I was sent back through time to kill humans.
Where do you?
My software made me do it.
By the way, that is a valid defense these days.
What's that?
The software made me do it. They call that the software insanity defense.
And the number 1 greatest screen villain, Hannibal the Cannibal Lecter.
Oh, wow.
Played by the great Anthony Perkins. So there you go.
Anthony Pork Chopkins.
Is that his frat name, Pork Chopkins?
I was thinking because he eats humans, but pork chops are.
What's your opinion about Hannibal Lecter?
You know, I think we talked about this maybe, but I rewatched Silence of the Lambs a few months ago, and I hadn't seen it since I was in high school. Fantastic movie. And I like Anthony Hopkins. I think he's been in really good stuff.
I think the character of Hannibal might have been weakened by the fact that they did like 10 sequels to it.
I never saw any of the sequels. The
Right.
first movie is fantastic.
Yeah. The TV show is supposed to be good, if you can believe it.
I didn't even know there was a TV show.
Yeah, there was a TV show. I think it ran for 2 seasons, and people said it was good.
Yeah.
I watched a few episodes of it, and I didn't care for it.
I heard they only made the pilot. You know why?
Why?
He ended up eating all his co-stars.
Oh, man.
What?
I heard chewing the scenery, but chewing your co-stars? All right, so let's rate this minute. Not much goes on.
Not much goes on. Some verbal interaction between Miguel and Fabrizio and Carlo. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
1, 2.
Here we go. Yeah, it's a setup.
It's a setup minute.
It's a setup.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess not much else to say about that one. We'll be back next week with another brand new episode. So
And stick with us for the next year if you can stick it out.
Yeah. Or I was going to say stick around because we're about to record the bonus content.
That's right.
So if you want to go on that, go to godfatherminute.com/support. Just $1 an episode about.
Yeah.
And we'll be back. Until then,
Fabrizio, prepara la macchina.